Your life. Which service is causing the problem?
That's impressive.
Yeah, to get these, like, for the book shipping, it was like $72, I think.
From Canada?
Yeah.
I guess if you've got a bunch.
All right.
What I'm reading is it might be an issue with your own device or speaker or headset, Travis. I don't know. OBS virtual camera plugin. Ability to get APS camera, second camera to zoom. Split audio with a single VAC. Is that the issue? Okay. Are we?
Adam hears you now.
Can you hear us? Hey.
Hey.
Hey, we're live. We have audio. Thank the Lord, baby Jesus, and Paladine and Takesis. I apologize, guys. I had a whole intro and all the fun things. Being that we're running late. Really welcome to the Dragonlance Nexus presents Dragons on the River of Time. It's been a 3-month hiatus. And I am not going to waste time here. I'm just going to go around the room. We're going to talk to our players to kind of say who your character is and kind of what you've been up to for about 3 months, if that's okay. Tim, we're going to start with you.
Okay, once again, I'm playing Garrus, Minotaur fighter, was a member of the White Dragon Army, and then was transferred at the end of the War of the Lance to the Blue Army. Fulfilled his obligations, was in the Battle of Palanthas, and was captured. And at that point, he spent some time with Knights of Solamnia and realized that their honor was a lot better than the honor of the dragon armies. And so he has kind of he's on a path of self-exploration at this point, trying to get to where he can get back to the love of his life, who is on Methus.
Didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. Callista is her name.
And personally, what have you been up to the last couple of months? Anything big?
Oh my gosh. Are you asking me a question?
Yeah, I'm asking you, what have you been up to for 3 months?
Oh gosh. What I don't even know. The last 3 months, I have played in my home game, which we're doing the Princes of the Apocalypse set in Dragonlance right before the events of Chronicles. Nice. So it's challenging because there are no clerics. Okay. We have a druid, but not real great at healing. So.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you, Tim, and obviously Garrus. Let's go next to Trampas. Trampas, who's your character, and tell us, who you are.
Okay, well, for anyone who doesn't know, my name is Trampas Whiteman. I am the administrator of the Dragonlance Nexus fan website. Also co-author of Races of Ancelon, Knightly Orders of Ancelon, and Holy Orders of the Stars. Also did some comic script writing. So that's my 15 minutes of fame. My character tonight is MacGuffin. MacGuffin is a Tinker Gnome artificer. Basically kind of taking the artificer class out for a spin, seeing how it works for a Tinker Gnome. The idea behind my character is that he's served with the Whitestone forces. He was a gnome in the Thaumaturgy guild, and they always wanted to use magic to power their technology. And he's like, no, you got to use technology to shape the magic. And they're like, heresy. So they used a gnome flinger, and bye-bye he went. And so he served with the Whitestone forces. and now he's found himself in Palanthas and on the adventure of a lifetime. As far as anything personally, my my work life has kind of been turned upside down. Restructuring at work has led to my position being eliminated, but I'm starting a new job here a week from Monday, which I am super excited about. And you know, I haven't gotten to game too much, but I did play in a game Chuck's running the other night. Had a lot of fun. I've blah, 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 blah. I've been you know. Also watching The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I am so jazzed about that. If you've not watched that show yet, please do. It's such a good show. Tons of action, tons of character development, and all that good stuff.
It is a good show. Thank you, Chris. Chuck, let's go to you next. Who are you? What do you do?
Well, my name is Chuck, and I still like long walks on the beach. And when Ed
Legit.
puts his fingers through my hair,
What hair?
okay, thanks. I am playing Tarn Winteraxe, the hero dwarf of the story, at least in his own mind. He is a native of Caelwyn and has grown up there and went to Palanthas to learn more about the world and discovered that he likes Kender and loves minotaurs and hates gnomes. In that order.
All right. Hates gnomes. Yeah, we'll get there to why you got mad last session. Okay, cool. Weldon, let's go to you next.
All right, my name is Weldon Chen. Over the last 3 months, got the COVID shot, got the second shot. Among all the other things, that was terrible. Yeah, I seem to be susceptible to like all sorts of stuff. So, not to cause any fear for anyone, but once I took it, I got cold symptoms for 2 weeks. Then took the shot again, another cold symptom for 2 weeks. I'm going to assume that's the vaccine doing what it's doing, getting my body armed up to fight the virus. So, there it is. For the last 3 months, Dragonlance wise, 2 things. One, I'm still programming a Cause Hexagon chess game. It's still getting there. I'm wallowing in the deep end of like Unity UI flash boxes, dialogue boxes, which I hate doing, but I'll get through it. The other one is cataloging all the new t-shirts, hoodies, pants, and cell phone boxes that have the new Dragonlance logo from Death Saves.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff. Like
A lot of cool stuff on Death Saves.
Yeah, I wanted to get one of each, and just to see how much it would cost, and it's coming out to be like $200. I'm going like, oh, how much chores do I have to do to like collect enough money to like, buy that and fund the hobby without the wife getting angry, So basically dealing with that, and just cataloging it all, so we could have a way to basically keep track of all the different stuff that you can buy there. They're all really, really cool. I mean, Tracy Hickman himself has got t-shirts, and he's got the cell phone cover for his iPhone, and he's displayed them. So if you've seen his website, it's got really, really fancy Dragonlance logos all across his shirt. Yeah, I think among here, I think John might actually have a couple of more.
He's going on, I think, yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys show them off, it's time to do, the catwalk. Show what you guys see what it looks like.
Cool.
And that's what I've been doing the last 2 months. Let's see. I play Ari Haversack. He is from a clan that is duly noted to have hated thieves, including Kender thieves. They give Kender a bad name. So his clan goes out and hunts for bounties those who have been determined to be like somewhat bad or ne'er-do-wells. His current quarry was Tasselhoff Burfoot. That's what the alias is that he's later heard of. But he's being sidetracked right now because there is a more sinister thief that's part of this game. So he is taken to bounty hunting someone else.
You did get some hints about Taz, and we'll explore that as the game continues. But, well then, John, last but not least, who are you? What do you
do? As Weldon mentioned, I do have some Dragonlance Death Saves merch. I've got 2 of one Lord Soth shirt, 1 of the other, and the Raceland shirt. So 4 total. I can't find myself spending $35 on a phone case. Sorry, Joe. Me and Joe go way back to Gary Con a few years ago. We gamed together. He became my best friend, and I his. Not really.
That explains why you guys kept in touch.
Yeah, you hanging out?
I mean, he did private message me on Twitter the next day after we came together. So like he found me, and because we talked about Dragonlance while we were there, did
he invite you on the set of the Snyder Cut?
No, and he has not invited me to his home game with the Big Show and Tom Morello and Vince Vaughn and all that. He's probably just waiting for a seat to open up. I'm just waiting for Rage Against the Machine go on tour. Then I get my invite, I'm sure. For the past 3 months, I've been running Tyranny of Dragons in Dragonlance. The group is 5th level now. We just finished up the Mage's test not too long ago, which, since each test is individualized, I basically had to write that from whole cloth. Although I did use some of the puzzles from Tasha's source book, which were a lot of fun.
Nice.
It was really good.
I love that book.
It is a great book. We've talked about it. But John, tell me about your character real quick.
So Erevan is a Kaganesti elf warlock who came in contact from Ari's nemesis, Tasselhoff, with the device of time journeying, and found myself thrown back in time. And I'm from a different timeline than the main one. So I was at Karaman's original funeral that Tasselhoff went to. So no dragon overlords in my future. But yeah, I find myself in the mix with all these rogues and scoundrels, and going back in time again. So
yeah. And we've done. You've got a cool write up on the Nexus about how we handle your patron, which is the device, and there's some neat rules there, so you can search that on the Dragonlance Nexus. So I'll thank you for that, John. So for me, these last few months, guys, I'm going to get real here.
Been born, nothing happened.
Yeah. So I've had some, like, in my life, I've had some like the highest highs and the lowest lows. On February 28th, I had my first child, son, Scotty. He was born, and I'm a new dad, and it's great, and it's exhausting, and I love it. And there's no feeling like it. But about a little bit over a week ago, my father passed away. And I'm not trying to depress everyone. It just kind of shows that life and death are connected. My son was born, my father passed. And it's kind of like that on Krynn. Our game focuses on the River of Time, but Krynn has a River of Souls. And they're always flowing forward. My dad, he fought cancer for 8 months, but he's at peace now, and he's not suffering anymore. And my son is like this endless flow of energy and smiles that I can't even, like, it just keeps me going to the point where it's my grief is not that bad. And it's like circle of life. And while, yes, it's been sad, a nugget of wisdom my father passed down is like, do what makes you happy. Well, I'm going to say with my friends here from the Nexus, And those who are watching, there might only be like 5 or 6 of you because we had the issues, but you know, I'm here with my Dragonlance family, and there's no other place right now I'd rather be than sharing an evening with you guys. And so thank you for being here.
Aw,
Thank you.
That's
Thank
lovely, Ed. Thanks.
Oh.
Don't get emotional.
Need a tissue.
Let's go to our Dragonlance updates.
Now let's
So-
play, you girl.
Nice. So just as a rehash, so we know that Tracy and Margaret, they officially announced that we have a new Dragonlance trilogy. So if you don't know, now you know. Stay excited. Google Books and Amazon had placeholders saying that it'll be in July, but apparently there's been news that it might come out in 2022 per Margaret's website. We'll find out. Per the lawsuit, the first 2 novels have titles, Dragons of Deceit and Dragons of Fate. We will find out if that stays the same or whatever. We do know also a couple months ago, Tracy posted some dubious pictures on his Facebook page that looked like manuscripts. So it looked potentially those first 2 novels are done. Another thing that I definitely want to talk about and I'm super excited for is the Nexus has been working on our comprehensive 5e conversion that we're going to tide you over with. The last 3 weeks on our Twitter and Facebook pages, we've been doing little teases here and there. It's called Tasselhoff's Guide to Everything. I'm super proud. I'm doing the layout design. Everybody here has worked on it, and everybody here on the team as players has worked on it. There's a lot going on there. So just look at our Facebook page or Twitter. You can see yesterday, we teased Kender. Last week, we teased, what did we tease last week?
Dwarves.
Dwarves, that's right. Dwarves. And then we did the cover the week before. So I'm slowly working and just trying to get all this done here for a release in May. So anyway, be excited. I'm excited. It's going to be free to download, and that'll be into our next point. The Nexus, we really can't profit on things, but we do have a Patreon to help us pay our bills. So if you're watching our Patreon, our patrons, we love you. You can find that link here in our background if you want to donate. But you're basically through our Patreon, you're keeping our website hosted. You're keeping the domain names going. You're keeping Trampus happy and he's not stressing. Yeah. And so if you're a subscriber, we posted some messages in the past regarding if you want to shoot me an idea about an NPC that we could play here in the game. I'm still open to that. I haven't received any submissions, but if you're a subscriber, do it. Okay. Enough about all that nonsense. Let's get into last session's summary. It's been 3 months, so everybody needs a
one
refresh.
quick correction, if I may. The title is Tasselhoff's Pouches of Everything.
Oh, yeah, sorry. You're right.
Yeah,
Pouches of everything.
no worries. It's easily
You're right.
confused there.
No, it's my stupid fault. I've been drinking wine this evening, so
Take a swig.
that's my bad. All right. So session 7. We are in session 8 now. Session 7. The last session, you guys found yourselves fighting your way through an occupied Anvil of Time with Solamnic forces and mercenaries attempting to destroy the occupying Black Robe wizards that seem to be working for Piston Dantos. Accompanying you was a female Kender by the name of Lithvit Winderkin, who happened to reveal herself as a fellow time traveler. You guys made your way through the Anvil, going through the kitchen area, which was basically a makeshift triage, which had like several wounded knights and a priest of Brancala, where you guys took a short rest. Listed with Ari, revealing events in the future about Kindermore that Ari had no knowledge of, which is like Malice's attack, raising of the desolation, where we get our Kender that aren't like normal Kender. Also, Erevan's patron granted him a new power, which allowed him to know anywhere that he is, he can now know the date. And at that point in time, it turned out it was 5 PC. You push through other rooms, finding a weird magical elevator. You finally arrived at the portal room that kind of sent you right with a black robe mage that was reading a weighty tome, and it turned out he was Fiston Dantalus. MacGuffin and Ari engaged him with roleplay, and he actually revealed some information about Pandora Kao, who you guys have been chasing through time. You found out that she seems to be working on behalf of Takesis. He had met her a decade earlier in Istar, where she was seeking a magical artifact called Sedition, basically an artifact blessed by Takesis. Erevan determined that Sedition was used during the reign of the king priest that turned people evil, specifically to turn nobility and priests to help fight against the king priest domination of religion. I apologize, guys. I know I've got a crying baby in the background.
Please get a hold of your kids there, Ed.
I know my wife's in there.
You go and have a talk with them.
There's no talking to that child right now at all.
It is a good sound to hear, my friend.
Thank
you know,
he keeps me happy and then annoyed at the same time. It's fun. Anyway, so things got hairy with Fisty. He ended up trying to escape with that book. He turned invisible and like mad dashed out of the room. Garrus, of course, our Minotaur, like chased him down. Somehow was able to get him and keep hitting him as he was moving away, because he had hit him like he was bleeding, and so they were following the trail of blood. And so that you guys went up a passageway. You ended up going to the next floor, to where Garrus slayed him, and Fisty melted in.
Yeah.
By accident. You're right. You're like, I'm going to take my crazy horn attack of opportunity and do the thing. And then Fisty melted into like a pool of water, leaving behind a dagger. And then, of course, that strangely ruined book. So that door opened to a huge room that had stairwells and portals on every wall, as if the gravity was subjectional. You guys all kind of came together again. MacGuffin determined that Fistidantalus was actually a simulacrum spell, which is kind of like a spell copy. It's in the player's guide. You can find it there. And during that exchange, Lithbit, she kind of said that the room that you were looking down into was a time travel room. That's where she'd been traveling through the different parts. Ari followed her as she kind of ran off, and he was, I guess, Lithbit was trying to ask Ari to run away with her. And I think Ari was potentially, he might have, but anyway, during that whole exchange, a door in the ceiling opened and the journeyman called down, and he was basically saying, this is a bad timeline. It's a hot zone. You need to get the hell out of here. He also called the Lithbit, identifying her, and she saw him and like ran away. And Garrus actually tried to grab her, but she ended up nat 20ing her dex check like any Kender would. And she escaped through another door and disappeared. The party then, another door opened, and then Black Robe started flinging spells at you guys as you started running toward the door where, your escape out. And basically you saw Fistidantalus behind them, arms crossed. So finally, when you guys got safe, the journeyman said it took him 4 days to find you. He had also shared that Lithbit is a bit of a time renegade, and she's been kind of been in the anvil for years, and he's been chasing her. He also shared that where you guys were was like a nexus of fractured time, and it's like a blackout date where they don't travel. So you guys all spoke. Ari shared some of the things that he had found, which were like time crystals. which helped the journeyman to turn the device back on. Also, Ari Amongst Groans shared the fact that you guys had found that spell book. The journeyman, elated, said that this was the Book of Time, which is like a treatise by the sorcerers who created the anvil. And then, of course, the heads of the orders of high sorcery who created time magic spells. And you agreed to give him the book for now, which was surprising to me as a DM. So the journeyman kind of thanked you, then said you guys could go home. But you all kind of doubled down and said you want to bring Pandora KO to justice. So you all swore on your faith or your beard or your life quest or your patron to kind of correct the River of Time and listen to the journeyman's orders from then on. The only person who didn't was Colton, who actually kind of wished to return home because Adam, he had an issue and he needed to leave the game for a while. So you guys said your goodbyes. At least one of those goodbyes was tearful. And you bid him farewell. With Colton gone, the journeyman shared that Pandora KO's last known travel in the Anvil was to Istar in 15 PC, which is the same year that the King Priest announced slavery. And then Erevan shared that Pandora kind of went back to search for sedition and explain what sedition was. And then the journeyman put the pieces of the puzzle together, and that she is time hopping to search for the Dark Lady's relics. And then he kind of we left off on the last session with him saying, what if I told you in the future that Takesis was dead? And so that's where we left it. So we're going to go from there. Just as I like to do for our sessions, our most highlight moments. So Ari took a bag of flour from the kitchen, and he was scattering it around in certain areas of rooms to make sure there were no invisible enemies. I thought that was pretty awesome. Ari, you can have +1 inspiration for that.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. Arn, you really got angry at McGuffin for not offering to identify your medallion of faith, which had kind of been in the queue since like the second session, I think.
I identified everything.
No, you didn't.
No,
he took it. He wouldn't let you touch it.
Clerical error.
No, you identified the greatsword instead. Anyway, Tarn declined, and with true dwarven stubbornness of roleplay, you may have +1 inspiration, sir.
Thank you.
And then Garrus bragged to the journeyman about killing Fisted Daedalus, even though he figured out it was only simulacrum. And then Tim, you said, but it's going on my resume, and I thought that was just a perfect moment of a player. So yes, you may also have +1 inspiration.
Woohoo!
So let's just go to inspiration scores. So I've noticed that before I was not putting a cap on inspiration, and I think that's a mistake. So I'm going to put a cap now on inspiration house rules to have max 2. I know the normal rules say 1, but we're going to do 2. So here are the scores. Ari, you have 2 points. Erevan, 2 points. Garrus, 1 point. McGuffin, 2 points. Tarn, 1 point. Okay? So we are going to start session 8. We are back in the Anvil of Time on the 19th of Hidamant, 357 AC. Travis, which is our streaming master, can you go ahead and move us to our Roll20 map?
Yeah, and hey, I just wanted to give a shout out. Our producer tonight is my own son, Travis. He, like his old man, he's got a real knack for technology, except he kind of left me in the dust years ago. I call that kindergarten. So just wanted to say a big thank you to Travis for helping us out on this and listening to a bunch of old guys role play.
Thank you, Travis. You've been awesome. Just another few cleanup items that I have here. So Erevan, your new patron power called Time Dilation. You may take a full round action to concentrate instantly learning the exact date and time in which you currently inhabit. And yes, your eyes turn blue when you do that. And then you may also add the historic vision spell from page 24 in the Legends of the Twins book, and lead you up to 5e. So we should probably add that to the webpage.
Probably so.
All right, let's go to the loot. Garrus, you lost your Lajatang. Ari, you lost all your time crystals and half your silverware, if you remember correctly.
Yeah. Trust me, I know about it.
Silverware.
It plagues me.
Correct. But you did gain a bag of flour. And also, you guys now have a +1 greatsword. You know that you have a magical dagger that has not been identified yet, and this beautiful magical tome that you gave to your friend, which was surprising. So follow-ups and research. You guys have some unidentified loots. You have 2 unidentified potions. You have an unidentified dagger, an unidentified medallion of faith, and that's that. So we have a map now. You guys are back in that main room where there are, every wall has a door on it, and there are stairs going up. You notice that the journeyman is dressed in fancier clothes and looks a lot healthier because he had been wasted the last time you saw him. He's wearing like finest Palanthian clothing, some leather bracers. He has a golden ring and a dagger at his belt and a backpack. So we left off with him saying, what if I told you that in the future Takhisis is dead? Reactions, anybody?
Oh, that'd be impossible.
How does one kill a god?
You don't. It would just destroy the laws of balance.
This is true. And so that's an interesting story. So I'm going to tell you some things about the future that may not make a lot of sense, but you just need to know that Krynn became a very different world in the several years after what was called the Chaos War. So
that doesn't sound good.
It doesn't. If you've heard of the Gray Gem of Gargaroth, it turns out that a piece of chaos was trapped within it, and someone, I won't name them, freed him from his prison. And he began a great war. Through difficulty, everyone united to fight chaos and banish him. During the confusion, Takhisis enacted a plan to steal the world from time and space, the whole world. As she did so, she stole Krynn and put it in a place that was bereft of godly magic, high sorcery, everything. And it took years and an occupation of overly large dragons from other worlds. As I say this to you, it sounds crazy, and I apologize. But
what sort of moron came up with this stuff?
That's a loaded question, sir.
Oh, sorry, that was out of character.
But the Kender, Tasselhoff Burfoot, which my friend Ari might be wondering about, with aid from the Archmage Raistlin Magir, was able to go through time and space and thread everything back together, and the gods were able to find Krynn again. So, as you discuss a balance, because of Takhisis' betrayal, the god Paladine voluntarily became mortal, striking the same effect for the Dark Queen. In the exchange, Takhisis was killed by the shard of a sundered dragonlance. Call that poetic justice, if you're familiar with the Tale of Huma. That's a whole
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's one thing that does. Great, I turned into Ringo Starr there. There's just one thing that doesn't make sense now, and that is there are gods of good and there's gods of evil and there are gods of neutrality. What happened to Gillian?
Gillian, because the gods of neutrality choose neither side, there was no need to maintain that balance. They are the gods of the gray, and they aren't affected either way. So it was only Paladine and Takesis that stepped down. Well, Takesis was forcibly stripped of her godly powers. And then when she became mortal, she was killed. And she actually died and passed on to the River of Souls from what we know.
Who killed her? Who could kill the god?
Oh, it's some great warrior, obviously. Someone like Yuma.
Well, when
It was a Minotaur, most likely.
again, we start giving more information about the future, and perhaps I'm trying to be as nebulous as I can. So let's leave that part out. But here's the important part, and this is why I need you all, is I suspect that Pandora Ko is enacting some type of plan to gather these powerful artifacts blessed by the Dark Queen through time. She is time traveling to gain artifacts. My suspicion is she's trying to somehow resurrect Takesis in the future. And we can't allow that to happen. We can't allow that to happen. And that's why I need you. That's why I'm going to send you to a time where she is to hunt her down.
Back to the future.
Yes, to the future. Actually, it beats the past.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to send you to Istar. 15 PC. You guys are really quiet. I can't read you.
The mind boggles. Like, by what you just told me, Paladine could have stopped Takesis right from the beginning by stripping himself and becoming mortal. So this entire time, all the fighting that's been occurring with all the gods, all the dragon wars could have been stopped if he had just done that, like, on year one. Like, what? And now we're going back to, like,
why would you not want to be a god?
Get Texas back to normal.
I feel like
Paladin
because
can become no longer mortal and back to full stature.
So this brings into question which way he's aligned now, doesn't it? Because if he continues to be a god, and in so doing people suffer, and he kind of was behind the king priest thing, then would that not make him evil? And then the balance.
Paladin's not a god anymore. He's actually an elf.
That's what he chose?
Wandering the world.
No offense.
Didn't choose a dwarf or a Kandor or a Minotaur or any of those. Just had to be an elf.
Didn't he create those elf things anyway?
Apparently, I mean, there's stories that
it choose to be a Kinder.
Oh,
a Kandor might actually make sense.
So this was a lot to take in. I understand. You guys don't have to go right into the next mission because we have a time machine. So if you guys want to relax for a few days.
So we can.
We have the anvil here. There's no more people. We've got it. It's comfortable. Yeah. You guys can spend time here, and then when you are ready, I will send you to your mission, and I will give you that information. So you tell me what you all want to do, because I feel like you've been going nonstop since you left Palanthas.
I feel the same.
So I hand everyone the bag of holding. It's like, guys, pick out your parts, get the items that you want, ID everything if you have the time, and tell me what you guys find so I can put it on my list.
And the journeyman's like, do you need help with identifying some things? I if you would prefer for me, I can do that now.
I would prefer that our gnomish friend here is kind of a, how would you put it nicely? Worthless.
What? Now, wait a minute here, Mr. Dwarf.
Name's
What?
Tarn.
I'll start digging around in the bag of holding for like the silverware that I took. And it's like, okay, I basically took these back from Pandora. which was
Master
all over the
Kender, I
animal
don't
having
think
a-
all of this is
your-
magical. Perhaps just okay.
Now, what did I do to offend you, Tarn?
Oh,
Just turns and puts a medallion out in front of the journeyman. If you
Well,
could
I'd reach
be
for
so
the
kind,
I reach for
pull-
the medallion.
and I will.
No. the journeyman's like,
Pull-
hey,
pull it back.
let me take care of this. There seems to be an issue. I'll take one for the team here. And so if you notice, the medallion of faith has a hammer on it, and that hammer seems to be well, actually, Chuck, what does that medallion look like?
I mean, the typical dwarven Riox hammer on it. I mean, it's definitely very typical dwarven. Drinking helm on one side, hammer on the other.
And the hammer is colored like red, almost like a fiery copper color. So he goes and he starts doing his thing. And he's like, oh, after some time, said, this is a specialty medallion of faith. You may cast the stone shape spell through this once you're attuned 3 times per day.
Well, thank you, Master Journeyman. If only all of the people who could identify you were as good as you.
If only dwarves weren't so stubborn.
All right. So nobody has to like cast spells. We're gonna be so let's just do this. You're getting some downtime here. How long do you want, and what does each of your characters want to do for the next several days? Are there any things that you need to do or want to do? I know potentially MacGuffin, you may want to do some technology things.
Yeah, so basically the for the people at home, the artificer class, the subclass I took, I believe it's called the battlesmith, has what's called a steel defender. It's basically a fantasy robot buddy, and current version of this is named K9, who is kind of a automaton of a dog, or at least the front half of one. But MacGuffin has some ideas on improvements, big time. You know, it won't change any of the stats, but he's going to turn the dog into a bear, and that he can ride. And that's just because I like the artwork for the artificer. So basically just working on that. The idea being that this is how he relaxes. You know, he tinkers with things, and so yeah, it's going to be a lot of work, but at the end of it, he's going to be pretty happy and pretty proud.
Okay, cool. You also have some other things you can do. Aren't you able to make some potions or some things like that?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've looked at all this.
You look at all that. So, Tim, is there anything that Garrus wants to do over the next few days?
I can't think. I've been racking my brain all day trying to figure out what Garrus would do for downtime. He's a sailor. He doesn't have a boat available to him. So
you're in a desert. So.
He is in the anvil, and there is a pretty neat little library in there. I thought about maybe, trying to learn a skill or something.
Okay. What were you looking?
Stealth? No, I'm just kidding. Let's see.
Rando.
Yeah. I don't know. History probably is what I would go for.
So if that's something, you can study and do that, and we can kind of, I don't know if there's like when you get towards beats, or if there's something.
Or actually, rather I would study religion probably more than history. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. there's definitely a library and books.
Okay.
All right. So Chuck, what about Tarn?
Is there like a fruit or anything in this place?
A what?
Fruit?
Fruit?
Yes.
Brew. Strong
Like-
ale.
Like is there
fruit? Is there like any type of fruit?
No, there's like dried fruit. Not really fresh fruit, no.
Oh, that'll work. Well, I'll put some dried fruit and I'm gonna ferment.
Actually, no. So in the room that Pandora KO had, there is some fruit there. Sure.
Yeah, I'm because I have brewer supplies on me, so I'm just gonna use that large glass jar and I'm gonna ferment here for a few days and share my brew with everyone but -1.
So that main kitchen, has.
Tarn had just had an idea. We're in a time place. Go back 5 days. Put your brew, as long as you need to. Go back a couple of years. Put it in some storage, and then come back, and then check the room. See how it's going.
The journeyman's like, that is an excellent idea. Let me make your brew, and I'll handle the rest. I'm not Ari. You are not allowed to be in this room that we are in without my supervision.
That's what I'll be doing.
But yes, we will do that. That sounds like I rarely abuse the powers of the anvil, but I feel like that's a worthy thing to make some beer that might have aged for a couple of years.
That's what we're using the anvil for.
We need more dwarves here. That's just a great idea.
How long does it take to brew potions?
Well, do you know how to brew potions?
I don't, but if someone's gonna be brewing potions, maybe he can go with Tarn. Brew some potions back then. Then we're back. We're up to our armloads full of potions.
All right. So, well, that's a good logical. Well, then, what does Ari want to do for the next few days? Because we know that a board kender is a dangerous kender.
All right. So, in keeping with my with the codes of my clan, I had, while you were talking with the journeyman, I have been dumping the bag of holding and emptying it all out.
You have a lot of stuff.
Weapons, chocolates, hand axes, swords, crossbow bolts, 100 steel pieces of spell components are all tumbling out. And I'm going like, okay, this is stuff that we found in this time travel that was in possession of the bad guys. I want to take this, and he asked if there's like a storage room where we can set up like an evidence room somewhere and catalog all the stuff that we found. I need to like set up a list of like where this was found, confiscated evidence, stuff like that, so that we can properly give them to the right people. Now I'm assuming all the stuff that we found, like the silver, the silver set from the dining room table. I apologize, but this bit kind of like took half of them. But I'm assuming the rest of yours. I promise you.
I was wondering where that went. It had disappeared from the timeline. It was kind of a mystery, but here it is now. So thanks for returning it. But no, we definitely have a room that you can set up all of the things that you have borrowed, and that's
confiscated as evidence.
So I'm just gonna, because we're doing this couple days or whatever, I'm just gonna let you know what the loot is. Okay. So those 2 potions, someone write this down. They're two potions of greater healing. The dagger is a +1 dagger.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and then we already know what Tarn's specialty medallion of faith is, so I think that's it.
There was a candle of invocation.
Oh, it was a candle of invocation. It was an evil candle of invocation. So
yeah. Okay. Let's see. We got a drift globe.
Yeah, I have.
It's in the DMG. You can look it up. Basically, you use the command word, and it floats and gives light. And I think I gave you the command word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we also have a Scale of Time Journey, command word Delos, which is Draconic 4 Passageway. It's a multi-colored scale. And what you told me is this keeps us from, destroying ourselves because we've been changing time.
Yes, that's what that does. And like, let me hold on to that for now. Are you
Okay.
all right with me taking? That's a very dangerous item.
Well, on my character sheet, I had the drift globe and the scale, so I don't know unless Ari stole them from me. I think I had those.
Yeah, I actually listed him. Okay.
You guys got days to figure it out. So, I mean, he's
Right.
literally dumping bags out. So you guys can own. He just requests you can have the scale back. I would like to study that scale some more because it's infused with chaos magic.
All right.
It's very dangerous, especially for someone like you, Ari.
Oh, really? How? Explain more.
So you can already change time, and now that you would be changing time, you'd be immune to any of the effects. That it seems like if you were to use that scale and do something, maybe, I don't know, would that be some type of conundrum or it just seems like something bad would happen. I'm not sure.
In other words, you're a little bit worried that I would be curious and that I would try to experiment and try all sorts of different things, including going back to Karen's, little brew master trick and see if I can add all sorts of flavorings and all sorts of stuff.
There, sir.
Strawberry flavored beer.
I'm just gonna hold on to this scale for a while, and then if you guys need it, I'll give it back to you. All right. That leaves John. What are you doing? Studying spell books, I guess.
Yeah, I am going to ask the journeyman, while you study the scale, since we gave you possession of that book of time, would you mind, or would it be improper if I were to look through it during these next few days?
Which are you talking about? You're talking about the book that you got from Disentantalus?
Yeah.
I would prefer to study that book for the next several days because it'll assist me in understanding the anvil better. But because you retrieved it, I will return it to you.
Okay, fair. Then yeah, I'll spend the next few days just trying to decipher these spell books. Even though I have no training in wizardry, I will do what I can to kind of just piece together some of the meanings of what's in them. And
you can make Arcana check. I feel like that's easily something. I'm just gonna I'm gonna tell you what's in those spell books. So okay, you'll be studying the spell books. All right. So how many days do we want to take off? Does anybody want to? I know people are coming and going right now. I'm not sure how many days we want to take to ourselves. 3, 4, 5, 2, 1.
How long does it take to brew some beer?
So the journeyman's already said is it'll probably take a day for Tarn to put all that stuff in and put the mash in the barrel, and then he'll send it through time. So that won't take anything really.
Once 4 days.
Done, yeah.
Because we're gonna have a good hangover the day after, so.
That's pretty cool. All right. So
I'll spend time in the library also.
Of course.
there's any certain themes of books that are kept in the library as well.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Speak it like. So are we talking 4 days, 3 days? It's up to you guys. You guys drive this story, okay?
I mean, if it doesn't matter, let's just do 4 days.
4 days? 4 days. Sounds good.
I'll make the decision.
4 days should be enough time to like set up a evidence locker room. That's pretty good. Give everyone a list of all the items that we've collected, and
Yes.
you know, the weapons that we found in the anvil, I'm gonna say is owned by the journeyman, so I'm basically putting them back in the anvil at time spot, you know, where we found them the first time in different points in time. So if you want to pick up our lost list of like weapons for the anvil of time, it's there. I can give it to you. We also have extensive writing tools. I figured that might be good for, you know, everyone who can read and write and want to, like, you know, build spell books. I've got 3 empty spell books that might be good for some people if they happen to have spell books or need journals or anything. And all the short swords that we've collected from the Draconians, hand dagger, 2 normal daggers, I guess, 3 normal daggers, staves, an ornate staff, crossbows, stuff like that. If you want to arm yourselves, you know, ask the journeyman to borrow them. You know, away we're ready.
Okay. All right. So John, the spell book, you ready?
1 second. Let me get so I can make notes.
Let me ask, did anybody have a problem with me taking the great sword?
I don't think so.
I think I'm the only one who can use it except for Tarn, and it might be big for him. I don't know.
Darn prefers axes.
Yeah, okay.
Who wants the +1 dagger?
About Erevan.
Okay. That works.
Okay. All right. So John, all right. So the spell book has, it's only through 2nd level spells, but the cantrips are Firebolt, Light, Mage Hand, Ray of Frost. Tell me when you're ready.
Good.
All right. First levels are Burning Hands, Mage Armor, Magic Missile, Protection from Evil and Good.
Okay.
Second levels are Acid Arrow, Flaming Sphere, and Web.
Cool.
And sad to report that the other spellbooks all have the same spells. Sorry.
All right.
All right, guys. So we're going to fast forward 3 days, and that's when the journeyman retrieves that barrel of. So was it beer or ale?
Oh, whatever the journeyman would have requested.
It's up to you.
I mean, if we had time, he would have done beer.
How much time did you need?
Oh, I'm probably about a month.
Yep.
After brewing it, and it just has to sit for a month.
Okay. So he retrieves it. You know, he put it through time, whatever. He gets it from the storeroom. It'd been there a month. And what did you brew?
Oh, it's a pale ale. A pale. It was weedy. Or not weedy.
Hoppy.
It was a hoppy one.
So it was an imperial.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. So everybody gets drunk on pale ale.
Tastes like grass.
But
Whoever drinks. If you don't drink, that's fine.
I was just saying, the gnome was offered none.
And the journeyman hasn't had alcohol in like months, so he's just. Well, no, that's not true. He did have that barrel of wine that was in that one room, but no, he hasn't had ale, or he hasn't had an IPA in who knows how long. So everybody enjoys some IPA. All right, so let's get to the mission.
Oh, hold on real quick.
Yeah.
Out of character, What type of axe does Tarn use?
Battle axe.
Battle axe.
Battle axe. So you would never throw that then.
I throw my hand axes.
Ah,
He does have several hand axes.
okay. I'm gonna approach Tarn, and I'll say, um, Tarn, I think I've offended you by accident, and I want to make amends. I have a gift for you if you are willing to accept it.
He just stares at you.
May I see one of your hand axes, please?
A smile comes to his lips as he pulls one out, cocks it back towards you, and spins the handle to you, and then throws it straight between your legs.
So much stubbornness.
All right, what I'm about to do to this, it comes with the promise from you that you never use it against me or do what you just did there again, because I might soil myself. I'm going to start rubbing my hands across it, and you'll see arcane energy coming from my hands and infusing this axe. This is one of two infusions that MacGuffin can do, and when it's done, it'll have kind of a energy about it, and we'll say that a rune etches itself within the axe, and I'll let Chuck figure out what that looks like, but I hand it back and I say, a gift, my friend.
So in game terms, what does it do?
This is a returning weapon.
Cool.
So it gains a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it, and it returns to the wielder's hand immediately after it is used to make a ranged attack.
So you've got a Mjolnir axe, a Meow Meow axe.
Now, the bad part about this is if MacGuffin dies, that magic goes away. Or if I infuse too many things, then that magic goes away.
Well, now wait a second. It's not magic; it's technology. So, like you, whatever artificers do, you're a gnome.
Well, it's magical technology.
It's a boomerang hand axe now.
Oh, you've
You
attached
put some
a couple
thrusters
of
on it, and
metal
it like,
wings to it with the cones of flat-
Oh, thrusters.
flat-
That's
or
perfect.
he magnetized it, and he gives you anyway. Whatever, that's fine.
Ooh, magnets. That sounds better.
I like that, just a magnet type thing.
It
Anyway,
has tiny little wings on it that flutter.
All right. Well,
a wing design on the side. There you go.
So Tarn, he gives you your axe. It looks to be different.
Give it a shot.
I just give him a curt nod and put it in my belt and turn away again.
That's as best as you're gonna get with this stubborn dwarf.
And I'll say, MacGuffin, you do feel like you're not going to lose your head.
I find it. I look over to Ari. I'm like, I'm not certain, but I think he said thank you in Dwarvish.
I would take it.
All right. So the journeyman looks at this. He's like, "Oh, this is so heartwarming. Look at that. You're building bridges. That's great." So why don't you come here, and I'm going to show you this map. And he shows you a very large map that you may be able to see.
Right.
Did the map come up yet in the feed? All right. So, Travis, can you zoom out just a little bit? Perfect. All right. So what you see here is the Lord City of Istar. I am going to be sending you to the Square of Six Swords. It is a inn We'll get there in a minute. I need to warn you about 15 PC, which for those unlearned, pre-cataclysm. So we are 15 years before the fiery mountain was thrown directly at this city. I'm honestly not sure when exactly Pandora traveled. We know it's this year, so she could have been, when I send you, she might be there for a few days or a few weeks or a few months. She's quite good at hiding against any type of divination spells. She's very dangerous. She's very chaotic. When I was her prisoner, there were times she tried to seduce me, and others she tortured me. So expect anything from this woman. And what I plan to do is I'm sending you just a few days before the institution of slavery. It was a tumultuous week and probably the easiest time during the year to steal an artifact or accost someone that may have sedition. And we have to know that Pandora is probably masking her appearance. And from my studies of Istar, she's probably appearing as either a human or an elf, most likely Sylvanesti, because of the chosen of Paladin in Istar, Sylvanesti elves and humans are the two dominant races. I can't tell you any more than that. So the date is going to be 15 Corge, which is June, out of character. You have 4 days and 1 night to find her. And then the king priest is declaring slavery for the enemies of Istar on the eve of the Night of Roses. Anybody can give me a lore check on Night of Roses, or a history check, excuse me.
Hold on 1 second here.
Probably not.
I know all the history.
So the Night of Roses is a midsummer holiday celebrated all around Ansalon, but also Solamnia. This is the day in which commemorates Huma Dragonbane's battle to where he defeats Takhisis. Temples all over the continent throw open their doors and allow their worshippers to enter. And a procession bearing symbols of Huma and the Dragonlance and Roses are like set out through the cities, especially in Istar, which is obviously a very holy city. So, per history, he's going to announce, which is what is then called the Amphitheater of Brancalo, in that evening, which will then become the School of Games. And all evil races, which Master Garrus includes you, will immediately be turned to slavery. And you will most likely compete for your life. So you all need to be doubly careful.
Sounds like home.
Yes, the games are definitely a big thing where you're from. I'm sending you to the World Serpent Inn. As I mentioned, is located in the Six Sword Square. This is not your average inn. Please be on your guard. You're going to see people there that are going to bend your expectations of what you would see in Istar. I have a contact there. He is a Kender. His name is Ferret Snishwhistle. Don't trust him. He is not my choice, but he is damned to stay in that inn, in that place, during that time frame. The portal that I open there is constant, so During these several days, you will be able to return back to the inn and come back to the anvil at your leisure, but you have to go by Ferret's permission. He is the only one that can open the door that leads to the portal. He's the guardian of the gate, and you must pay his toll whenever he asks. No questions. Now, may I answer any questions to you that you may have now?
Why shouldn't we trust this Kender?
No. Why?
Yes, why?
He's been punished to stay where he is.
What did he do?
He stole some artifacts of Zivlin, the god of foresight. And his penance is to stay there from a period of this time until the cataclysm and repeat that until Zivlin excuses him.
So he just repeats the cataclysm over and over again.
Correct.
That's
But-
horrid.
He is who we have to work with. Time travel is a strange beast. Do you have any questions about Istar? Look at the map. Are there things that I can answer? Or perhaps we can go through and I can identify a few things.
Oh, you got to know where the prison is. So I see that's there. And what's the Sacred Halls of Silence?
The Sacred Halls of Silence. Let's look it up.
How are we guys gonna get around? I don't think they're going to be happy with, you know, Kender, a Minotaur, a dwarf, a gnome.
Well, as I said, up through the next 4 days, Kenders, dwarfs, minotaurs, and gnomes are able to travel freely. It's really the Minotaur that's going to be an issue. Kender are everywhere in Istar, all around the world. You know that, Ari. You guys, you're well traveled. There's no place a Kender can't get into.
I don't imagine the decree over slavery happened in a void, like just happened one day.
It is literally declared during a holiday, and
Right.
then
But I'm saying their tensions must have been mounting over the course of the, at least a year or longer, so that we're probably at the height of those tensions now.
yes. So the king priest has slowly been basically, for the lack of better terms, he's become racist, and he has determined that certain races are evil. And these races, over time, because there have been conflicts in the past with the previous king priest that ruled before him, specifically with minotaurs and ogres and things like that, because they are believed to be children of Tikhisis, he declares them outlawed. And if you follow history, the king priest eventually goes not just to those races, he goes to the neutral gods and outlaws the practice of worshiping neutral gods. And even to the point of worshiping, when we get towards when the fiery mountain is dropped, any god other than Paladin. It's just it just gets worse as he descends into
right.
his madness.
I understand that. How, as far as just walking down the street, what can I expect? Just walking down the street. My weapons are not easily concealed, and I'm rather large and kind of a sight.
I would expect don't go into any places of worship with your weapons, or you would need to check them at the door. But at this point in time, there's no records until the day of slavery declared that anyone is being detained, but I would be on your guard. There is a chance maybe they started early.
Okay.
You know,
I just-
there's got to be a jail with a whole bunch of kindred staying. You know.
Ari, every city has a jail full of kinder.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that to be offensive to you. I
Oh,
just
no
mean
worries.
to tell you
It's
that,
free lodging.
correct,
Free lodging. Go there, get a free
Free
room,
square
stay for a
meals,
while,
yes. Great.
Unlock the door, go out exploring, go to the tourist spots, come back. You know.
Okay. Are there any places, or is there anything I can tell you about Istar that you would have questions about? Obviously, you have a master, very well-educated gnome who probably knows about as much about Istar as I do. But if I can help you, please let me know.
What about the Tower of High Sorcery?
So the Tower of High Sorcery is interesting. This was after the Lost Wars, where the King Priest he outlawed practice of mages in Istar. And there were a number of wars, and in their desperation to fight, the Wizards of High Sorcery exploded several of their towers, and to stop the death that had happened in several other cities, they came to an armistice. And so the Wizards of High Sorcery evacuated the Tower of Istar, and
Of
the
course.
King Priest uses that tower as his relic trove of items that he has confiscated in his holy wars. So anything that he feels is not following of his practitioner of religion, he stores it there.
What's our chances that sedition is there?
Right. That's what I was just
That
thinking.
is a good chance,
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm
do we
thinking.
know that sedition was used to because the clerics of Istar were beginning over time to mind read, not yet, but soon, and to jail people. Sedition was used to turn these priests to evil. So I would assume that sedition may potentially not be in the hall, in the tower, but could be. I don't have records on that. Any other questions?
Nope. I'm ready to go. Let's go. Yay, let's go see where
All right.
that.
So before we start on our next leg of our journey, I think
you're
we can take
frozen
our
up on me.
5-minute break. Travis, if you don't mind putting us, we could take 5 minutes, use the restroom, come back, get yourself some tea or a beer or whatever.
Just don't turn your cameras off.
Yes.
Right.
IPA that we have brewed here.
Very well. All right. So whenever we're clear,
All right, clear on YouTube.
okay.
It's like a fireball with me. It's really, really spicy though, so I'm experimenting on different recipes and lengths of time because it takes 5. You're supposed to soak it for 5 days with the spices and cinnamon. I'm kind of experimenting with different lengths of time to reduce a little bit of the heat because I've had people say that it was too hot and too spicy for them. But if you like cinnamon, hot stuff, it's fantastic.
All right. I feel like, is everyone back? Are we ready to start back up?
Yeah, real quick, Ed. I don't know if you saw my message, but I had another infusion. This is going to be on a crossbow I have.
Okay.
So, +1 repeating crossbow, basically.
Cool. All right. Yeah, we'll just when we're live, just say that.
Yeah, I'll wait till it's on.
I'll probably be on mute like this with that too.
Travis, let us know. Okay, I believe we are back. Hopefully everyone can hear us. Do we have audio? I feel like we do. Do we have audio?
Hope so.
It works.
All right, cool. All right, everyone is back. So what you see here on the art is the time traveling room. You are back in the area, and you can see that the different doors lead to different places. Just let me get situated here. All right. So before, he's got you there and he kind of points to a door. You do notice that all the other doors now have padlocks on them, except for one.
Oh.
He's like, I'm tired of people just walking in here. I will say this. So one issue you might find while in Istar is that the dominant language is Church Istaran. And I feel like that's a dead language now. So I have this little doodad for you. Who would like this helm? I don't know if you guys are seeing the art, if that's coming in yet. Oh, well, I'll move the players to the right page. How about that? So the journeyman holds out this helm.
I don't think it will fit.
Oh no, it'll fit on anybody. Anyone who wants to wear this helm, it'll fit. I promise. This is a helm of comprehend languages. So who wants to be the translator for the group?
Feel like the Kinder should have it.
Well, I've been itching to take a look at that helm and try it on. It's like, okay, see how this works. Someone speaks something, unintelligible.
That's not how it works.
So,
So
MacGuffin, talk about something really sciencey, really like gnomish, and see if I can figure it out.
Okay, I start going into thermodynamics.
So MacGuffin starts speaking gnome speak, and it makes total sense to you. Everything he says, even if you don't know the laws of thermodynamics.
All right. So, anyone else? Give a different language. I want to test this out. You guys should try this and see if you like it too. Anyone want to speak dwarf? Minotaur?
I go into what is it?
Kothian?
Kothian. Yeah, I start speaking Kothian. I go into like the history of the Minotaur Empire and
And it's funny because this helm, like, he puts it on, and it's got green eyes, and then it's just an interesting looking helm for a Kender to be wearing. But it fits him. But yes, so you're able to, Ari, all the words make sense. Everything he
looks like
says to you.
Hordak a little bit.
So,
Yes, that's
I expected
it.
this to be like, I expected a lot of mooing sounds, but like, wow, this comes out like standard common. I'm impressed.
You are racist. That's a racist thing to
Mooing.
say.
I'm very sorry, but yeah, I mean, live and learn. It's like Kothan is like cool language. It's not like moos at all. It's like, wow.
Well, it's very. It may sound very harsh, but it's very. It's a very hard sound, very staccato.
And you should be able to reply back as well, I think. So.
Moo.
Yeah, boo.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Okay. So he opens a door on the wall. Going back to the art we have here, and you see that it's one of the it opens and it's like that bluish glow of energy, and I'm guessing you guys are going through.
Yeah.
All right, let's get
Jump right in.
you.
Woo.
Let's get you there.
Oh, by the way, guys, say hello to my new friend. He's a bear.
Oh, I need to get a new mini for that. We'll do it later. All right. So I believe the new map did I put the players there?
Mhm.
I did. All right. So you come into a very plain looking room, stone floor. You come out of a blue glowing portal. The door, surprisingly, is open.
Sweet.
I'm just gonna
Free to
step
move.
on
Yeah,
out.
go ahead, move your
I'm gonna check out
minis
too.
where you want. All right. So on the far side of the room, over here, you see a closed door with two strange, tall, and gaunt, yellow-skinned humanoids standing before it. You have never seen anyone that looks like this before. And then over here, you see a Kender on a tall chair before a very orderly desk. Kender is wearing leather armor. He has short brown hair with an equally short brown beard. And he has scars on his face that give him a very sneering appearance. He's got like one here and then one over here. And as soon as you walk through the door, he immediately takes an ink pen out and he starts writing in his ledger.
I turned to Ari. Mr. Ari, so I thought I thought Kinder didn't grow facial hair.
That's possible. I wonder if he's a half Kender.
I've heard of those. I thought it was just a myth to scare naughty children.
No. They're just more practical. We didn't ask if he was like a full Kender or not. So, what do you guys think? I'm gonna head right over and talk to him, see what I can find out.
Good idea.
Okay.
I'm going to follow.
So I go right up to him and was like, "Hi, my name's Ari Haversack."
He looks down at you on his desk. Ferret Stitchwhistle. Name, Ari. What was your last name again? And he's just kind of
Haversack.
writing. Haversack. Don't know you.
With the CK.
So the journeyman sent you?
So I quickly go around.
No.
How are you doing?
Stay
I
back.
look down at the book. It's
And
like,
even like to the point where he puts down his pen and draws a short sword. He's like, stay away from me.
that's okay. Raise my hands. That's okay. I am a friend. I'm a
Stand back
cheater,
to the
like
other side of the
you.
desk until I'm done writing you in.
Okay.
Very well. What about your friends here?
You guys want to introduce me to
I'll-
them, or
I'll introduce myself and I start using my full name.
Short name, please.
an
Sir.
hour later?
Short name.
Fine MacGuffin.
Gnome. Mount Nevermind. Life Quest. He looks up.
To show that magic and technology can work together in the form of artifice. And then I start explaining what artifice is.
Next. Minotaur. Name.
I'm Garrus.
Garrus what?
Garrus Esnosek.
Very well. Dwarf. You a holy man?
You can call me Tarn Winteraxe.
Oh, where are you? So that medallion of faith, where is that, by the way?
It's tucked under my shirt.
Oh, okay, never mind. Very well. Elf. Nice tattoos. Name.
I am Erevan Moonwhisper of the Kaganesti.
We have met before. Maybe later for you. Interesting. He just takes some notes, writes it down.
Does he seem familiar at all?
No, you've never seen this character in your life.
Okay.
I
Well,
don't get know the names. Like, wow, that's an interesting book. So the journeyman did send us.
so if you look at his book, he looks to be writing in a nonsensical language. But you have your helm,
Yeah. What is
and you know that he's writing in camp talk.
Camp Talk?
Camp talk.
Camptown races.
Basically, Dragonlance's version of Thieves' Cant.
Yeah. Okay, so I have comprehend languages, right?
Yeah, no,
So
you're
I
able to read
start
it. He's
speaking-
taking detailed notes, and he's also in his notes before he sees you, and then he like starts covering it. You notice that he's got the year that you've come from and some like information that he would not have normally had.
So I talk in Thieves' Cant and say, "Hey, I hear that you know about the journeyman. He sent us on an errand. We're looking for a thief, and we're talking about real thieves here, really, really bad ones." So I start describing Pandora, and I start saying, "Have you heard of anything like that around here? Has she
course.
come through here?"
She's a tiefling, damned of chaos. Yes, I know of her. My master has tabs on her. But he responds in camp talk. So, it's like broken up words and blah, blah, blah.
So we don't really know what the hell he's saying right now.
Unless you speak Thieves' Cant / camp talk, no, you have no idea. Only Ari knows. But basically, Ferret is like, I'm not giving you that information until you pay the toll.
Oh, and what toll is that?
That all depends. I usually don't exact the toll on your way out.
Okay. On our way out. So
On your way home.
Okay. And in general, what are you looking for?
Whatever strikes my fancy. That helm's real pretty.
Well, see, the problem is it's not mine. So I'm only borrowing it. I mean, I really am just really borrowing it. It was handed to me. So I really can't like give it away to other people.
It's not my helm either, but it could be mine once you give it to me. And hey, if you pay the toll, then you won't have to on your way out.
Well, I'll think about it. If we find something else, I'll let you know. Thank you for letting me know. And I go up to the guys and I quietly, actually using the using the helm so that he can't hear me, I speak in each individual languages to everyone. You know, very, very quickly.
Very smart.
In Elf, in Minotaur, in Dwarf, even no speak. I update them. So okay, he knows about Pandora, but I don't think she's gone through here yet. He didn't say. And he is also talking about some sort of toll. So we might need to provide something for him. And he wants this helm. I don't think we should give it to him. So what do you guys think? Any questions you want me to ask?
Didn't the journeyman say to give him whatever he asked for, basically?
Yeah, but this is our helm. We needed to talk to other people.
Right. And
So
maybe he gave us this, maybe the journeyman knew that he would want this helm.
yeah, but he was also saying this guy was a thief and he was being punished. So I'm not exactly sure I want to give anything to him. Plus, this helm isn't, unless the journeyman said so, I don't think we should be just handing this helm to anyone because I think we need it. But maybe we can negotiate. I can talk to him about seeing if we can find something even better. Maybe that might be what we need. He said he usually takes the toll when we leave.
Right, so using to give it to him now.
So as you guys are kind of speaking, I just want to kind of explain the rest of the room. So over on the far side over here, you see those strange yellow skin humanoids. Have no idea what they are. Might be an Arcana check if you want. And then in this room, what sounds like you're hearing ladies laughing. From there, you can definitely see one, a redhead woman who looks to me maybe Salamnic, who is wearing a gown. 22 Arcana. Ari, you have no idea what those guys are. Erebon, you also don't know. MacGuffin.
Well, I have advantage on Arcana check, so the 22 applies.
The 22 is a fail. That's what I'm trying to say. But MacGuffin rolled a 27, which is a pass. So, MacGuffin, in the libraries of Mount Nevermind, there are these strange books about gnomes that have traveled on ships that have been known to leave Krynn. And it's usually remarked as it's fiction. But these strange gnomes who have traveled off of Krynn have met these alien race called the Githyanki. And when you look at them, they're a strange looking bunch. They've got yellow skin. They're wearing this strange like plate mail adorned with precious metals that has beads and gems on them. And both of them bear a large silver greatsword.
Oh,
But these Githyanki are known to be travelers of the beyond. And they're feared, and they have strange powers of the mind. And Trampus, you're muted.
I know.
And yes, I'm crossing over a little here outside of.
No, it's all good. This really speaks to me, actually.
You're right, it does, because Trampus loves psionics.
And Spelljammer.
Mm-hmm. And you rolled a 27. That's nuts.
I know. I'm just like, wow.
It was a DC 25.
So I'll be like, I don't think they're from around here.
But this, like, so these books that you studied, which were, considered works of fiction, perhaps now you know that there is some truth. And they stand before a closed door, a locked metal door.
Who is that there?
That's me.
That's Aragorn.
Okay. All right. I'm going to walk over towards them. And hold on one second here. All right. So I'm going to say, tell me, you're travelers from beyond this world, are you not?
So they're standing like stand stiff, like the guards at the Marines who stand guard for the president, or the royal guard at the Palace of Windsor, looking straight ahead, standing up, and they're ignoring you.
Okay, I'll turn towards the half-kinder, I'm guessing, and say, how'd you come across them? Their origins seem otherworldly.
Did you call him a half-kinder?
No. No. I just can't
really
remember.
Went racist.
I just can't remember his name, so
Name is Ferret.
Ferret or Ferris?
And I'm going to give you a little bit of free advice. This place is a place of portals. And certain people guard their portals to different places. And that's all you need to know.
I've read about their kind. It's considered to be fiction, but it appears that there's some truth to it after all. Very fascinating. What this suggests is that there are multiple worlds of which we are connected. We are but one world within a greater multiverse.
He just kind of like looks at you and then just goes back to writing in his journal. Uninterested.
I'm fascinated by this.
I'm going to head over this way and see what's in this room while Ari's talking to Ferret.
Oh, over here?
Yeah.
So actually it's a bathroom.
Oh.
Are these windows?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna look in the windows.
And it looks like a room full of books.
Oh, well then I just wander on through. Don't mind me, ladies.
Okay, so hold on.
Okay.
So passing Ferret, you enter a very furnished room with benches and a rich burgundy rug. 3 human women sit on benches, sipping wine and laughing among themselves. Each is beautiful in their own way. A locked iron door stands to the southeast. One woman is a pale redhead with a pink gown. She looks of Salamic descent. Another is a sandy-haired Ergothian, which it would be the Dragonlance version of African American. And then she's wearing a white gown. And the last is a dark-haired Kurish woman in a black gown. And her Kurish are probably more Arabic. As you are walking up, the dark-haired woman looks up from the conversation. Her eyes widen, and a smile plays at the corner of her mouth. Ah, sisters, travelers upon the river. I wonder what the journeyman is up to now. And they just kind of giggle and they drink their wine.
All right. Okay.
So as you walk by, you're just in a room that has a stairwell leading down, and there are several bookshelves.
Okay. So I just start looking through the books and seeing if there's anything interesting.
Some of the books are about the different languages of Istar. Some of the books are about the histories of Istar. All the information is all about this current age of Istar.
Oh, all right. Open
This
one
is the
up
way
and
to-
thumb through it.
Yeah.
Is this the way
Some
to the
are
bar?
so some of are written in languages you don't understand. Others are in common, and that's fine.
Yeah, even if it's common, it might be like
Yeah.
an
It's all like
archaic
historical. Like one book
version
is
of
like
common.
the, the history of the king priests,
Sure.
and it has all the king priests through the last several hundred years. Like all the information you'd ever want to know about Istar is in this room.
Okay.
Further expounding upon perhaps travelers are coming to this inn from other places. All right. What else? Who's doing what?
So I'm moving over, and I am basically trying to strike up a conversation with our Kender here. So why are you here? The journeyman basically said that there was a god. Zivlin, I think, was punishing you for stealing something.
Yeah, I stole
Now-
a bunch of his holy items, and I'm damned to be here throughout time. And if you don't, so go ahead and give me a persuasion check at this point to see,
Persuasion.
correct. Unless you just want to, you don't have to give me a persuasion check. How do you want to role play with this guy? Well, on an 18, that's pretty decent.
Well, I want to talk to him and say, we often get a bad rap for stuff. I mean, but did you honestly steal that stuff? I mean, was it just you borrowing, or did you really
I mean, at the
steal it?
time, I thought I was borrowing it, but he told me I stole it, and I kind of jumped around, and here I sit
Yeah.
through eternity, watching things happen over and over and over again.
Wow, that seems really boring.
Have you
many
ever
times
seen the
did you
destruction
go
of a
do this
world
over and
before?
over again?
It's very interesting. Dying and coming back to life.
So what is this toll? Why do you need my helm or other things? Is it to return back to Zivlin all the stuff that you took? I mean, that's what my clan is all about. Finding the people who took stuff, basically hauling them back to answer for why they did it, and bringing their stuff back to the original owners. So I'm thinking, is
By
that what you're
traveling
looking-
through time, you're breaking the laws. And so I sit here to take the tolls to bring some sort of balance to the law. And that's all I have to say. And honestly, you see his face just kind of become dejected, and he looks down, and he just kind of looks down at his ledger and doesn't write, and he just looks sad.
Oh. Well, if it means anything, we're going after Pandora because she took this thing called the Heart of Drakart.
She hasn't taken it yet.
Well, from my time, she has. So we're here
That's
to
relevant.
basically find it. So if you can help us, then I'll try to help whatever I can to help you.
I feel like I've given you more information than you need to know. I've helped you enough.
But you haven't seen her? You have no idea when she'll be coming in?
I might, but that breaks the rules.
Damn. Would it help if I told you Rorix was the one who basically sent me on this thing? And maybe if
Zivlin
what
sent me
I'm
here.
doing,
He just kind of shrugs at you. It's like, gods tell us what to do, right?
Yeah. But let me tell you what. help me, and I'll try to figure out a way to help you. Put in a good word for Royce. Maybe get you a vacation because this sounds horrible. So I'll keep you in mind. If there's anything more you can tell me, let me know.
He told you about as much as you're gonna get.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
rolled pretty decently, but not high enough for him to break his penance. So
All right.
sorry.
So
Anyway.
I head over here.
All right. All right.
Explain
Well,
everything to you guys.
so are any of you interacting with these three ladies?
Yeah, I will. I will talk to the redhead, and I'll ask her what their role is here at this.
She introduces herself as Rose Red. And the Ergothian introduces herself as Sandra Dusk. And the Kerr introduces herself as Plain Jane.
Does she say plain Jane?
Yeah, she's
Okay.
literally that's what my name is Plain Jane.
Interesting.
And so anybody can give me a perception check on that door.
What was the other one's name?
No, not me.
So Rose Red is the Salamic, the redhead. Sandra Dusk is the Ergothian. And Plain Jane is the Kirsch.
Oh my god. Okay.
Are they
Um,
wizards?
Yeah, probably, but that's out of character. I mean,
Yeah,
they're black- they're black,
out of
red,
character,
and
I've
white,
got
right?
some ideas. So
So on that door, there are strange like runes written in a language that you may not or may understand.
Well, I've got the helm, so do I see anything?
Yeah, those they are written in I'm sorry, it's not, hang on a second. They are written in Sylvan.
They're written in Sylvan?
Yeah. And so they're like good travel and safety.
All right. I tell everyone else that about the door, and that's what I see.
Mm-hmm. And the ladies kind of like perk up. We guard the door. The door is none of your business. Unless you are of the business of the Tuatha Duna Jarrell.
I comprehend languages. What was that?
Well, actually, that would be an Arcana check.
Arcana check.
All right.
Erevan, the Tuatha Duna Jarrell is basically the world of the Fae on Krynn. And it's like the Feywild.
Okay.
You would find information about that in the Defenders of Magic trilogy.
Indeed.
Also, MacGuffin, you also know that.
So this door leads there. They're telling us.
They just said that is of the business of the Tuatha Duna Jarrell, which are basically the Fey race that live in an alternate dimension.
Are you all wizards?
Of a type.
Of what type? I am too, of a type.
You all sound very boring, Rose Red says. Sandra Dust is like, well, some of them are kind of attractive. And Plain Jane's like, I don't know, the dwarf he's kind of cute.
Most dwarves are actually.
Well done.
So I ask, how long have you guys been here?
How long have you been here?
Well, just 5 minutes ago, but how long have you been here?
As long as you've been here. We guard the door. But what are you doing here? Travelers upon the river? And they all just kind of giggle and they take sips of their wine.
All right. So
Only time travelers come from that door. You're not the first we've seen.
oh, really?
Not all return. Keep that in mind.
Who
Hey,
else have
Ed.
you seen come through our door?
All right. Someone asked, Trampus, did you ask me a question? Who asked you a
Yeah,
question?
I was wondering, can I roll like Arcana or something to see if they're actually human or some sort of fae?
The problem with Fae is they tend to mask their identities. Right?
Okay, so
I mean, it just depends. What are you trying to do? I mean, a knowledge check won't tell you what a Fae. It is a logical to think that they're Fae. You don't know what type of Fae they are. And there's no way
Okay.
to know because they look like just 3 human women sitting around drinking wine.
Yeah,
your
Trent.
road sounds quite interesting. I don't know much about it.
Have you never traveled the Fae Road? I feel like you'd get lost.
It doesn't sound like a road that a gnome would travel.
You never know. A human traveled there not long ago and survived.
Who? What did this person look like?
He was a human, a wizard of some renown.
What robes did he wear?
A human? An elf?
A human. He bears our approval.
And how
Last-
does one get his approval?
His surname was Dathan.
Hmm.
How does one get approval? Travel the road and see.
But you're guarding the door.
Yes, you must be invited.
Oh.
I feel like this is a bit of a distraction from what we should be doing.
And what are you doing? What should you be doing? How about you let us help you? Also, you notice that Plain Jane, she has, so here, I'll say this, Trampus, that's one strange thing, is that she has a pearl pendant around her neck, a larger pearl. The pearl's the size of an eye.
I'll go over and talk to her.
Okay.
I'll let Ari continue the discussion over there, and I'll be like, that's an interesting looking pearl you have there.
Yes.
Might I ask what it does?
You may ask. And she smiles at you and sips from her glass. And it's funny because when she sips from her glass and she puts it down, it kind of refills on its own.
I need a glass like that.
I think our dwarf friend needs a glass like that.
I've got one in my backpack. See, I hold it out here
travelers.
like this. He pulls out his drinking horn.
Perhaps if you tell us why you're here, we may help you.
Is anybody going to give that information up, or?
I don't know. I'm kind of looking at everybody.
If you're, and honestly, if you're trying to role play with them, persuasion or if, you know, if you guys are wanting to get information, this is skill checks, help, You know, I'm trying to do as much as I can with talking to you, but you know, skill
All
checks out.
right. I will tell you a little bit. You need to tell me a little bit.
Tarn, you get a +5 bonus with your skill check with Plain Jane.
Because
likes
apparently dwarves
Holy
are
crap! Jeez. Wow. All right, Tarn. She's just like,
She is totally
Master,
seduced.
Mr. Dwarf, what's your name?
You may call me Cole.
Cole, would you like to sit down?
Of course, my drinking horn is still a little bit empty.
Oh, and she produces a mug of ale for you. Basically out of nowhere.
I always like a cold ale.
So, why are you and your motley band of adventurers here?
If I were
Perhaps
to
we
tell
can
you,
come to some type of agreement.
if I tell you the truth, you wouldn't believe me.
Master Dwarf, you traveled through time, and we guard the road to the Fae, and over there, those crazies guard an even eccentric way of travel. So if you think there is something you can tell me that I would not believe, I would say, please do.
Would you believe we've been sent on a mission from Reorx himself to save time?
Okay.
Oh,
Care to
great. We all
elaborate?
dress like the Blues Brothers. And we're like, we're on a mission
We're on a
from
mission
God.
from Gad. She just kind of looks at you and gestures for you to go on.
Well, we've been chasing around this, what would you call it?
A woman.
A tiefling, isn't it?
She's a demon woman.
Oh,
Demon woman, I like that one better. Like a lot of ladies, not like you though. You not demon woman.
so perhaps my sisters and I, perhaps we could strike a bargain.
I'm listening and
If you perform a small quest for us, we may help you find this woman
what's
through
the
our
price?
magics.
Name your price.
In the Solace, or Hall of Sacrilege, for those who don't speak Church of Starin, that's the Tower of High Sorcery. There's an item. It's called the Olam Harp. If you would return that to us, perform that quest, perhaps we can use our magics to help you find your woman.
It's a done deal. Hold up my hand.
Oh,
If we do this for you, perhaps you will help us. We need a little bit more of a guarantee.
no, we will
And
help
by
you,
return, was
but
it
know that this is a
stolen from you?
binding contract.
I understand what a contract is.
All right, I'm going to explain to you what this harp looks like real quick. Sorry, I have to open my DMG up.
As soon as she says the Tower of High Sorcery, I kind of give everybody else a look like we kind of want to go there anyway, I believe, just in case.
Interesting.
Is that one of the brochures we picked up? So it's top 10 destinations for tourists.
Lord,
I've read about it in the history books.
it's easier to just do this through.
This tower's supposed to look like a hand.
Yes, I will tell you what it looks like. What the hell? That's strange. It's not showing up in the items. Anyway, I'll get you that in a minute. So basically, she says that we can cast a spell to assist you in finding this person. Is that your choice?
My hand's out in the air. You can shake it or not. Your choice.
She takes your hand, and once you grab her hand and shake it,
Oh no.
yeah. So a bright light, like a red light, comes, and then there's a rune that is carved into your palm.
Just made a deal with the Fae.
Mhm. You did. You did. And she's like,
What does
very
this
well.
card do?
Hey, Tarn, would you like me to identify that for you?
That's fine.
I think I got a pretty good idea this time.
Pretty much, if I don't complete it, my soul is sacrificed to her. It's
So-
pretty obvious.
They look at you. They look at all three women look at each other, and they start chanting in unison. And they start saying words of magic. Anyone can go ahead and give me Arcana checks. to
Comprehend
identify what
languages.
they're doing.
Yeah.
No. This
What
is
is
this is a spell.
Yeah.
Aaron, that's not great.
Are you kidding me?
You guys suck.
Hold
I
on, I
fumbled.
want to show up MacGuffin. I
I-
know more.
Fumbled.
Same thing happened to me the other day in my live game. I had advantage and I rolled 2 20s. I had disadvantage. I rolled 2 1s.
Hmm.
In the same session.
Yeah, none of you really know what they're doing.
I still love this time years ago.
I've got comprehend languages and some.
Yeah, but that's it's still a spell that's being cast. All right. Okay. So they start speaking and doing the thing and chanting, and then they look at you, Tarn, and they say, "Speak 5 questions. The answers to the questions may be 1 word. 5 questions."
I motion for the group to get together to huddle.
So,
Without
you guys
speaking
rolled like
anything.
crap, so I can't even tell you what the spell is.
Without speaking, and be like, I'm just pointing at you guys. Come up with the questions.
What is your name? What is your favorite color? And what's the average price we have?
I'm glad you guys are talking amongst yourselves.
You like long walks along the beach.
And as the women are
Um,
like, they're chanting, they're like, "This magic is hard to hold. Please be quick." Their eyes are glowing
Ask where Pandora is.
red.
Yeah, where can we
All
find
right, I'll start
Pandora?
with what is Pandora?
Name of the place where Pandora sleeps?
Currently, yeah. Yeah. I'll say, where is Pandora?
Where and when in Istar can we find Pandora? Although they did specify 1-word answers, didn't they?
Yes. Your question may not be answered. The answers may only be yes, no, maybe, never, irrelevant, or unclear. That you have sacrificed 1 question.
Damn.
4 questions left.
Tell us the rules.
Okay.
Sorry, Ed. What did you say? I missed that.
So the questions really, the answers can only be yes, no, maybe, never, or irrelevant or unclear. So like you have to ask specific questions.
Okay.
So you have
Great.
4 questions left, specific questions.
It's the magic 8-ball of Vistar.
I mean, out of character, it's the contact other plane spell.
Okay.
So what about a question like, I'm not asking this to them, I'm asking it to the group.
Yeah.
You guys can talk
Um,
amongst yourselves as players. That's fine.
So what about will Pandora pass through this place, the meaning the inn, sometime soon. Right? Does that make sense? Like, do we just have to sit here and wait for them? Or
Is that a question you guys
No,
want
no,
to
no.
ask?
no, no, no.
No, that's fine. All
Just-
right, I'm be quiet. I'm quiet.
I'm thinking I'm thinking if we have this role to go to, that we have to go to the temple, we have to go to the Tower of High Sorcery. I think we need to ask, will she be there?
Good one.
So
There you
we
go.
can all
Yeah,
be at
that's
the
a good
same
idea.
spot, waiting for collect the item that we need. Someone needs to go there to the Tower of High Sorcery anyway.
All right, so
And-
ask the question specifically. Choose your words.
So, Chuck, she's the one you seduced. I'm saying you do the one do it.
So give me the question. What do you want me to ask Weldon?
Will Pandora be at the Tower of High Sorcery?
Will Pandora, the demon woman, be at the Tower of High Sorcery sometime soon?
Yeah.
And they all look at they look at Tarn.
Avistar.
In unison, they say maybe. Three
This is like
questions
a-
left.
This is like a terrible, terrible tale.
Okay, so maybe another question is to figure out where sedition might be. Because she's looking for it. If we find it, she'll come looking for us.
So
Is
you
it-
guys have to think in relevant to the answers that can be answered.
Yeah.
Is sedition in the Tower of High Sorcery of Istar?
Is that your next question?
Yes.
And they all look at Tarn and they say yes.
Ah.
Two questions left.
What are you doing Saturday night? No.
No, we're not.
Answer
Irrelevant.
unclear.
Are there any guardians or things that would impede us from entering the Tower of High Sorcery of Istar?
Think in the relevance of the answers that they can give you. But if that's the question, is
I
that the
haven't
question?
asked it yet.
All right.
Yeah. I'm thinking there probably are. I mean, if it's a magical place, I'm sure there's going to be Astarian guards.
Every Tower of High
Is
Sorcery
there-
has a you know
Is there
has
a
a copse of trees around it.
is
Oh.
there a portal to the Tower of High Sorcery in Istar?
Ooh.
Is that the question?
That we can access.
Well, it's more like, can we use the Fey connection?
All
to
right,
get
I need
to
the
tower?
final answer on the questions.
Is there a portal in Istar that we can access to get to the Tower of High Sorcery in Istar?
No.
We have
That's
one
very
left.
specific.
Well, I had to keep it specific, otherwise it could be maybe.
One question left.
Is there a way to release Ferric, Fezzik, whatever, from his
That's
curse?
not it. I mean, is that really the question you want
No,
to ask?
we're not asking
No.
that.
All right.
I mean,
I
that's
just thought
very
we-
nice of you, but that's not.
Thought we'd help the guy.
That's nice, but
We could ask if Pandora knows that we are here tracking her.
Hmm.
I feel like there are specific questions you can ask about her location that you guys are just kind of pooping the bed on. And that is all that I will help you with. Do you want me to go to the map so you can see the map and the places?
Yeah, that might help.
Did we ask if she's in the Tower of High Sorcery?
No,
Oh,
you didn't. You
That
didn't
was
decide.
maybe.
Oh wait, yeah, no, you yes.
Was
No, is will she
whether
be in the
she-
tower? And the answer was maybe yes.
yes.
So that is the Lord City of Istar. There are multiple locations there.
I wonder if she can change history. I'm guessing yes.
I mean,
She's not an elf, human, or ogre.
you've been told that she is that the tieflings are created by chaos. So
Yeah. So she can change time too.
Um. Oh gosh.
I guess, I mean, we could ask her if she's in the city right now.
you know that. Well, you don't know that. I mean, that's a question.
I mean, we only have one left, but
All right.
Or
So-
hold on.
The Olam Harp. So just so you know, the Olam Harp is a beautiful looking harp that is it's like a magical instrument of the bards. It's like the best looking harp you could ever think of, and it has a number of magical abilities. Someone rolled a die. Why? What was the die?
Oh, I'm just randomly gonna pick a location, ask if she's there.
Okay.
I was going to say something about maybe ask if she's at the Great Temple. I mean, would she try to kill the king priest?
I mean, I could just ask if she at
Probably
an
will try to
odd
join
number
him.
of the map or an even number of the map.
No.
No, I'm not going to allow that question. That's silly. So is that the question you want to ask? Is she at the temple?
No, I will not ask that question.
Okay.
Because I don't think even if she's at the temple, we
Right.
cannot get there.
Is she trying to change history? Well, we
you
kind of know
really
that.
already know the answer.
She
to
already
that
knows.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the
Yeah.
answer to that question.
I mean, by the fact that she stole the heart of Jakar, she's already changing time. She's already.
Mhm. Because you knew that the heart of Jakart was not supposed to be at
What-
that place.
Where would she go in Istar? Where would she go other than the temple?
So the
Well, she's
journeyman had
looking for
mentioned that she
tradition,
is a
right?
master of disguise, and she's also a master of hiding herself from divination magic. And that's a
And
big
the
deal
two
in
really-
Istar. A lot of, like, through history, the priests of Istar have used their magic to read minds and see if people are evil and all of those things.
Can she read minds as a Telfling?
Mhm.
Because I'm thinking, if-
she's a
if
magic
they're-
user of some type.
Oh,
if
great.
they're looking
Ed's
for people who can read minds, and if she
No.
has spells
I
can
was
do
saying
it-
that the priests of Istar read, like, there's literally a sect of Istarn priests that are like the Mind Patrol. But that's not for another 10 years from the timeline.
great. As it
Come on,
turns
I think-
out, she's an aberrant mind sorcerer, and Ed likes
Oh.
psionics after all. I doubt that.
I guess my I would say I'm thinking of asking if she's near the plaza.
Which plaza?
The Baragon Plaza. Number 2.
Number 2.
Right, I just have the temple.
Is that your question?
I'll ask it. Is she near the Baragon Plaza?
They all
by-
look at you and They say yes, and then the light leaves their eyes.
Well, we
Okay.
have at least an answer. So there's a few places that she could be.
Deals with the
Where do we go first?
And the ladies just kind of laugh at you. She's like, "Remember our deal.
I don't remember.
You'll pay the you'll pay the punishment if you don't do it.
And the punishment again is my soul.
They
Maybe
turn
not
you
your
into-
soul, but definitely your life."
Good luck.
What was the deal
And
specifically
Jane just
again?
kind of like she kind of
Uh,
tugs on your beard a little bit.
You know, you never gave me a timeline. Wink.
Yeah.
I like you so much that we'll just play it by ear for now,
Fine.
and maybe come back later when your friends aren't around.
You like to tussle with me, eh?
Maybe not in so many words. And then the other two ladies are like,
You can bring your friends. There's plenty.
"Careful, jeez." So, and that's when they actually get offended. They're like, the other two like put their wine glasses down. "You serve us, sir." For now.
Ah, you're cute. Especially when you all three gets mad.
Okay.
You're not married, are you?
Twice.
Boy.
Uh-huh.
All right, guys. So we have a position. She's somewhere near the plaza. We should start figuring out what she looks like. Can we get a better description from the ladies on what this human being looks like that just recently passed through? Oh, so it was the fawn, not her, not Pandora.
What are you trying to ask them?
Well, a description of the person who just passed through, but I realize that's not Pandora.
Right.
Okay, she's over at the plaza, guys. I'm thinking that's where we start looking for.
Near the
I would
plaza.
assume human elf form, someone relatively new that no
Near
one has seen before.
the temple.
Okay. Are you guys, I guess, going down the stairs? That seems to be the only way out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's head out then.
All right.
Yep.
You don't need to move your guys. I just need to like port you over. Hold up.
Here we go.
Sorry. Hold up. You know what? We'll just for the next map and we'll port the characters over by ourselves. All right. Okay. I know you guys can. You want to put your character tokens in there by the stairs over here? Okay.
Wow, that's
I
lifesaver.
know. Every time.
Every time. I can't
Oh,
resize
what?
it either.
I know. I got you. Hang on. Well, you did resize it.
I didn't.
I got
do
it.
Oh, okay.
Make sure that you're controlled by Garrus and you have a name. You are Garrus. So weird. All right.
Shoot, how do I do this?
Why is this?
Click on your name, Trampus, and just
You
drag
got
the
it?
whole thing over.
There, and then I need my
All right.
Rainbow
So
Bear dog.
You come into a very large tavern with tables and benches for patrons. At the south end is a long bar, but that is not what you see that is odd. Other than a few human barmaids, there are many strange denizens drinking and making merry. At a far table, you see very small fairies with wings glittering in the lamplight. Next to them are some very raucous, horn-headed men drinking and playing pan flutes, and they seem to have the legs of goats. At tables next to the fireplace, you see a mixture of minotaurs, hobgoblins, and half-ogres at the bar. You also see kender and gnomes. This is by far the strangest bar you have ever even dreamed.
Who are the Kenders?
The kender are... Hang on a second. They're over here.
Oh,
All right. Well, if you excuse me, guys, I'm gonna. So, I basically approach him. It's like, "Hi, Ari Haversat, and you are?"
Hey, Mary Fistwhistle. Hey, I am Doggo Blomhammer. Rando name I just made up. Sorry.
How do you spell that?
Doggo, D-O-G-G-O, Bloghammer, B-L-O-G-O, Hammer.
Is this the way out, Garrus?
this is the way. Out.
We need to go this way then.
Garrus, you do see some minotaurs in the corner over here.
I know, but I mean, come on.
Well,
I'm after the demon
asked,
lady.
are you
This is a
guys
silly
being-
place. We shall leave.
Erevan, we're on a mission, remember?
From God.
But,
From Reorx.
So it looks to
There
be
we
like
go.
some pixies floating over a table over here. There's some satyrs that are drinking and playing games. There's all types of craziness in this bar.
We can hang out later
No.
because we're supposed to find Pandora.
All right. So Ari, did you want to
Well,
ask the two Kender a question or not?
I want to quickly get a feel of whether they're from Ishtar and whether my urban
Oh yeah, they're like,
urban bounty
dude, this
hunter
is
background could
the
help me."
coolest bar in Istar. And it's like a secret bar. Like, you have to know where this place is. We found it by accident. Like, have you never been to this square? The Six Sword Square is like hidden things all around and like passageways. And we've been kicked out of so many places, and this place lets us drink. And look at that over there in the corner. They have wings and they're flying and they're just like itty bitty. I thought we're small, but they're like small and they're flying. And they gave them little fairy-sized drinks. Like, who does that? That's crazy. So, the Kender just kind of go off and start doing, telling you Kender things.
Hey, Garrus, I'm about ready to start a barroom brawl. Are we in or out?
Let's go.
So I joined the other two. It's like, all right, guys, it doesn't look like these Kender know anything. I was hoping to get something out of them that might lead us to Pandora, but it sounds like they've just been running around finding interesting places.
Sounds like normal Kender to me.
We got a Pandora to hunt down. So, all right, guys. Sorry, carry on.
All right. So you just walk through the bar and you leave the inn. So you notice that the door is on a basement level and there are stone steps leading upward. As you exit the door, you notice that the door is mostly unmarked except for a dark wrought iron serpent that looks to be eating its own tail. Into
Forget this.
infinity. All right. You go up the stairs, you step into a large square with a fountain in the center, surrounded by buildings made of red brick and tile. The surrounding buildings They have leaded glass windows that look down around you, and there are like numerous alleyways leading here and there. Rising out of the fountain are 6 stone arms, each holding a slender stone blade. And as you notice, like, not many people are walking among the square, and those that do seem to have an air of minding their own business. This seems like a very out of the way area, or perhaps the seedier side of what you know to be a very opulent city of Istar. Everyone just got real quiet. Did I say something wrong?
I'm waiting for
Um,
Tarn and Garen to lead the way.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'm headed toward the that area too.
That plaza?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go towards the plaza, and I guess you're trying to find like maybe a main thoroughfare.
Yeah, and I'm also just walking down the street. I'm not looking at anybody. I'm not like doing anything. I mean, I don't know. I've
Okay, you're
got,
just
like
kind
a
of
great axe going this way and a great
Right.
sword going this way and like a battle axe here and a hand axe over here. Like I'm just armed to the
you
teeth
walk
walking
into a
down the road.
street that kind of looks like
Garrett?
this.
Do you think you need the helmet to basically cover some of your features? No?
I just kind of look down at the ground where he is and I'm like, no, thank you.
Okay.
Very nice.
That is the nicest Minotaur I've ever seen.
So as you guys are kind of walking the streets through the plaza, you're noticing that there's a lot of different alleyways, and it looks like some of the doors or whatever, they look like hidden, and it looks like there's strange passageways that go into other alleys that would not, you would have to inspect to see it. So there's a lot of buildings that may be holding concealed things. But you're leaving, so we'll just say you leave the square behind, and the beauty of Istar, just as you step away from this square, starts to radiate as you join the countless throngs of people in the city streets. So Istar is probably one of the most amazing cities ever on the face of Krynn. The thoroughfares are wide, immaculately clean, and paved with durable white stone. There are trees lining the roads, and these trees contain very strange birds upon their branches that sing beautiful melodies. Many of the buildings are decorated with crystal, alabaster, and gold. On these buildings, there are statues that are etched in lapis, malachite, and jasper. The homes you pass have broad arcades, delicate minarets, and tremendous mosaic tile domes. There are gardens on each block, home to beautiful rare plants and brightly colored flowers. The opulence of it all is like oppressive. You guys have never been to a place so beautiful. Erevan, even you are a little bit. You have been to the forests of the elves, and even this is a little bit like humans built this. Wow. It's an amazing place. So where in Istar are you trying to go?
We're heading to the plaza. That's where.
All right, so you're
Yeah,
trying to
that's
go to
where
that
she is.
plaza. All right, it's going to take some time to get there. So do me a favor and let's move on to this map.
Along the way, I say it seems that elves probably helped create these gardens to be so.
So to get through some of the areas of the city, you actually do have to walk through some of the gardens. So this map, if you guys can put your tokens on there, please, over here in this front area.
How do we get our tokens?
You just, oh my God, I can do it.
Get your name and just drag your name over.
Yeah,
Just like
typically.
where
It's,
you
it's
would
like it's like dragging a
access your character
file
sheet.
on your computer.
Yeah, I just don't see how to move my Steel Defender. I thought I had it in the section here, but I don't.
Get it. I'll get it. No problem.
That's another me.
No, I got your
It's for a second there, it looked like there was two of you out there.
I was beside myself.
Oh,
the
worst.
You knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as you guys pass through this beautiful garden, over down the steps to your, I guess, left, there looks to be a group of knights. They're all wearing the adornments of the hammer. And they kind of notice you. They're like, "Oi!
Oi!
Oi, I say.
Come over here.
I bet that's hello in Estonian.
I just keep
Submit
walking.
yourself for inspection."
I'm
And you see
sorry,
the-
are we part of a military unit here?
I just hop right on over.
So go ahead and give me a history check.
Oh, I'll give you a history check.
I know you
Gonna find it.
will. And you know that these are knights of the Divine Hammer. They're basically the militant arm of the Istaran Church. So what are you guys doing here?
I hopped right on over. Looking for no trouble here.
For some
Well-
reason, I don't know why, Garrus, you can't. All right, you should be able to now control yourself, Garrus.
All right.
Control your now.
I come down this way and I walk right there.
All right. And all the knights, so several of them look at you. You're a motley group. What is your business here in Istar? A
We're on
gnome,
vacation.
a kender, a dwarf, an elf, a wild elf at that, and you, the horned people.
You see,
I smile at him.
We're on a bit of a case here. We are the multi-group detective agency. And we were looking for a missing person. Maybe you could help us.
Okay. What are you still over there where you are in the map, or
Yeah, I'm over here until
You're
they
just watching?
really
Okay.
come over. I'm getting ready to hide if necessary.
so it looks like from the markings, the captain who's like over here, this guy, next closest to Garrus.
I said,
Come again? An investigative group?
Yes,
we're
we
here
are a
searching
detective
for a
agency.
missing person.
Detective agency, not investigator.
I feel like maybe we all need to bring you in for questioning.
I
This just sounds suspicious to me.
On
I
what
don't
charge,
have
sir?
Well, that is the truth. Actually, we are. We are.
I don't believe there's
investigating.
any charge. We have broken no laws here. We have followed the edicts of the king priest. All hail his and Paladine's name.
tell him
On the edicts of you look different than we do. Submit
Ah.
yourself. And so the other knights kind of bring out manacles.
I tell him we will follow you wherever you wish to lead us. However, there's no need for any of this. We will not cause
And then the
trouble
captain
in
looks
your
at you
fair
and
city.
points, and he like jabs your chest and says, "You will be manacled, horned one.
Why should we be manacled? We walked over here freely, didn't we?
Because we have word of attacks during our holy holiday,
Ha!
and you all seem to reek of strangeness.
We do reek of strangeness. There isn't a decent inn in the town that we could take a bath.
And so at this point, all the knights draw their weapons.
Oof.
I bring out my new
All right.
crossbow.
So we'll go into initiatives, but we're at 11 o'clock, and I feel like this is a great place to stop.
Yeah, I feel like Garrus is not going to be goaded into a fight.
No, that's surprising. Because
Yeah.
I feel like if
Oh,
anyone
wait.
punched your chest like that, you would be
Well,
doing
like I
things to
said, he's on a path of self-discovery, and like, he knows where he is. Like he's not a stupid individual. Like,
Here's the thing. You have a Minotaur in your group. It's a weird point in time.
yeah,
It was going to be a fight. So,
all right.
yeah. But anyway, I hope we've had 3 months off. It'll be in May, our next session. I hope everyone enjoyed yourselves this evening. I know I have. Like I said, this is our Dragonlance family. I love all of you as my friends. And those who are still watching, I love you guys too. And hopefully you'll catch up with us next month. And we will see where our next fight goes. So
All
say
right.
goodnight.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.
Good night.
All right. Have a good night. Are we clear, Travis?